Okay, so let's talk about something we've all seen. You know, those job offers with these huge, flashy salary numbers that just seem almost too good to be true. Well, what if they kinda are? Today, we're gonna pull back the curtain on this thing called CTC, or cost to company, and really dig into the truth behind those big, impressive figures.
Just imagine this for a second. You're fresh out of college, and this number, 18 lakh rupees a year, lands in your inbox. I mean, that feels like you've hit the jackpot, right? It's the kind of number that could totally change your life, promising financial freedom and a massive jumpstart to your career.
But you have to ask, is that number the whole story? Is that what you're actually going to see in your bank account every month? Well, this is the exact question that popped up in this really fascinating story that's been making the rounds online.
So, let's get into it. The whole thing centers around this one student who just landed a job with a startup based in Mumbai. And the offer on the table? Yep, that incredible 18 lakh per annum package. And as you can probably guess, he was absolutely over the moon.
And his reaction was, well, it was completely normal. He did exactly what any of us would do. He celebrated the huge win, he got on LinkedIn to share the awesome news with his network, and of course, he made that phone call home to his parents. I mean, the dream was officially real.
But then, he decided to share the offer letter with his mentor, a startup founder named Sahil Thakur. And Sahil, well, he basically told him to pump the brakes on the celebration. Because when he looked at that offer, he saw something the student had totally missed, a tiny detail that changed, well, everything.
And this, right here, is the heart of the problem. What Sahil points out is this massive knowledge gap, especially for people who are just starting out. You see, in a super competitive market for talent, companies will throw out a big headline number to get your attention. They know that a lot of folks, especially freshers, just don't have the experience to question it.
So what did Sahil see when he looked a little closer? Let's actually break down this 18 lakh offer together and see how a dream salary can turn into an illusion, like right before your eyes. This is where it gets really, really interesting.
And boom, there it is, the breakdown that just shatters the whole thing. That 18 lakh rupees, the actual guaranteed salary is only 6 lakh. That's just 1/3 of the big number on the offer letter. The rest of it, a whopping 12 lakh, is made up of stuff like a performance bonus, a retention bonus you only see after 2 years, and company stock options, all of which are conditional and are absolutely not guaranteed.
So, this is the key. That other 12 lakh is what Sahil calls imaginary money. The performance bonus, it was tied to targets so tough that only about 10% of employees ever actually managed to hit them. The retention bonus, you have to stick around for 2 full years to get it. And the stock options, or ESOPs, which are basically little pieces of ownership, they don't even fully belong to you for 4 years. And they're only worth actual cash if the company goes public or gets bought. Until then, they're just paper promises.
This just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? The company is out there advertising 18 lakhs a year to get the best people to apply. But what the student is actually getting is a guaranteed 6 lakh, plus what is, for all intents and purposes, a lottery ticket. A chance to maybe, possibly, see some of that extra money way, way down the road.
This is the line that Sahil used to explain it to the student, and it's so powerful. It just perfectly captures this whole CTC illusion. It totally reframes the offer, right? It goes from a guaranteed high salary to a pretty modest one with a really high risk, speculative maybe attached. It's a complete shift in how you see it.
Okay, so how do you stop yourself from falling into the same trap? I mean, the story is a great warning, but the real value here is in the advice that came out of it. So let's get into the practical stuff, your own financial toolkit, so you can figure out what any job offer is really worth. Here it is, 4 super clear, actionable steps. First up, you have to insist on seeing a detailed breakdown of the CTC. Never, ever just accept the headline number. Second, you've got to separate what's real and guaranteed from what's conditional. Third, be super cautious about stock options. Honestly, unless the company is about to go public, you should probably treat their value as 0 for now. And finally, the most important step of all, figure out your actual in-hand take-home salary. That is the only number you should use to compare offers, period.
And this quote right here, this is the bottom line. Seriously, forget about comparing those flashy CTC numbers with your friends. The only number that truly matters for your life, for your budget, for your financial planning is the amount of money that actually gets deposited into your bank account each month. That is your real salary.
So the next time you see one of those jaw-dropping job offers, I want you to remember this story. Look beyond that big headline number and make sure you know to ask the most important question. It's not just how much, it's how much for real.